Okay, so what you've seen by the title is, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to defend Man of Steel. I'm going to tell you exactly why I think Man of Steel is a masterpiece of a film. I think Man of Steel is top 5 comic book film of all time. Now, I'm going to give you my reasoning why I believe it is such a masterpiece, why it is the top 5 comic book film in my opinion, and basically, hopefully, just, basically give everyone an idea of what us Man of Steel fans actually really think of this movie and why we actually really love it. So don't forget to leave your comments below, and if you agree or disagree with me, I would love to hear it. I know there's going to be a certain someone who's going to disagree with me on this, but I mean, it's film, well, it's all subjective, but I'm going to give you guys my reasoning. I'm going to defend it with my life here, and don't forget, again, leave your comments, give us a like, subscribe, and let's just get right into this video. Okay, so Man of Steel. Look, this is so good. I fucking love this film. So it starts off with, you've got Clark walking around, from moving job to job to job to job, trying to fit in, trying to find his purpose in life, creating some interesting scenarios where he saves people, and there's like this rumor about this guy that just appears and then vanishes, and he's basically on a quest to find his original father, from the actual, from Krypton. Obviously, you got the whole Krypton sequence as well. That is awesome as well, with his father, how all that with Zod turns into where it is now, where he gets sent down. But what I like is they didn't actually retell Clark from a kid. They just did flashbacks, which I thought was executed quite well. It was a lot better than having the same story over and over and over again. But you see some flashbacks to where Clark, as a kid, is starting to develop his powers, starting to understand that he's getting all these, sensitive hearing, he can hear things, he can see X-ray vision, he's getting super strength, all this stuff. And basically, you see a bit of his childhood, what he has to go through, where he's going through as a character that is basically being brought up to, you have the power, you have godlike powers to be able to do good in the world or to be evil in the world, to take over the world, to destroy the world, or you can be the good guy that everyone looks up to. Now, you see he gets bullied in school, he saves people in the school bus, and you see these reactions of these particular humans who can't deal with the fact that this kid just did something amazing. It doesn't make sense. So why is this? And you get the whole sequence. The father, Jonathan Kent, is absolutely critical to Clark's development as a character. For him to be brought up to where we get in Man of Steel. He is clinical. He is necessary. He is fantastic. And the way he raises Clark is basically takes him under his wing, this godlike being, and to tell him, look, you will have this choice. You need to either decide whether you're going to be good or bad. And people are scared of what they don't know. The unknown scares the human being, and that is true. And you see this development when he's getting bullied, and he comes over and he's like, I just really want to hit him. And he basically tells him, look, you can go out, you can hit him, but does that make you any better than them? I know you want to. You had this power. You could kill them in one punch and your life's over. And he's teaching me this. And then you get the clinical scene. This is the clinical scene that sets Superman, sets Clark on his road to becoming Superman. And that's when the tornado hits. And the dog's stuck. Clark can go save it. He knows it. Jonathan knows it. They both know. Clark can easily just go boom, boom, and bring the dog back and survive. Because he is Superman. So he can do that. However, his dad says, no, you stay here. I will go get the dog. In the process, I think he breaks his ankle or something like that. And he is then stuck. Clark can save his dad. And Clark goes to, and his dad puts his hand up and says, no. Because what makes this scene so good is that he knows, Jonathan knows, yes, his son can do all this stuff. But there is people there that will see what he does. And he believes the world is not ready. The world is not ready to see what Clark can do. Because it will scare them, and then there will be all sorts of drama going on. So he is willing to sacrifice his own life to keep his son's identity a secret. As a father myself, that to me is one of the most powerful things you can do as a father. To protect your son like that, to sacrifice yourself, knowing your son can save you, can save the dog, but to protect him in the long run because he knows the world is not ready to see what he is. That to me is just absolutely phenomenal, and it sets him on his pathway to becoming Superman. As he goes through his adult life, he is still getting bullied, like in the bar scene and that, but he doesn't directly hurt the guy. He goes, no, I'm not going to do that because my father risked his life to save my identity, to do all this. And then he basically wrecks the truck. So, but then you see this whole development of the character when he figures out his actual father. He finds out his real father, and he just starts to understand, starts to put things to, you know, piece to piece to piece to piece. And that's where he meets Lois Lane as well, and he gets that relationship. He builds that relationship. And then aliens come, his own kind come, and threaten the whole world. Now, what you got to remember at this point is he is literally just being Superman now. He has not been Superman for the last 10 years. He's not been Superman for the last 3 years. He is Superman this day. When the aliens come down is when he starts to become Superman. This is the first time he gets his suit and stuff like that. And when he's at the church and he's sitting there and he's talking to the guy, to the priest, and he's basically saying, look, I mean, I don't trust them. I don't trust Zord. He's gonna, if I turn myself in, there's no guarantee that he's gonna spare Earth. There's no guarantee. But if I don't turn myself in, he's gonna destroy Earth. What do I do? And he's having this battle in his mind, like, is it a lose-lose situation no matter what I do? What do I do? And then you see him basically go, you know what? Earth. I love Earth. I love everything about it. I love the people here. My mother's here. Everything is here. So he sacrifices himself to go in to do this. So he gives himself up in order to save the greater good. Then when he's on the ship, he obviously understands that Zord is actually going to turn Earth into Krypton. Basically, he's going to take over. And this is then when you see Superman take on all these high beings. Now, yes, he's only been Superman for 1 day. So he's only been Superman for 1 day. And now he's got these high-powered beings who don't give a fuck about anyone on Earth or anything like that. What do you think is going to happen? Shit's going to get destroyed. It is. I mean, when you've got someone of godlike beings battling it out in a town, shit's going to get broken. Shit's going to happen. That's just what happens. I mean, at the end of the day, you can't pin that on Superman. These beings, he's trying to save the greater good, the whole world, from these high beings. Of course, there's going to be a little bit of damage and stuff that goes on. That's just what happens. And he starts to fight these guys. And then you start to see him really start to develop even further, where he's like, I'm the only one that can stop them. I have to. And this is where the humans start to trust him. They have to. And when he is fighting General Zord, obviously, like, things are gonna get blown up. They're gonna get blown up. That's what happens. General Zord wanted this, and this is the only way Superman could deal with it. And transition to when the helpless family's there and General Zord's there. He's got General Zord in the headlock, and he then starts beaming, hitting those heat beams, and he starts moving it closer and closer. Clark doesn't want to kill. He does not want to kill General Zord. He doesn't. He never wants to kill anyone. He wants to save as many people as he can. And now he's in a dilemma. Kill Zord or let the family kill. The innocent family kill. He has to make a decision at this particular point. He has to make this decision. And that's why when he kills General Zord, he has that painful scream that he releases because he's in pain, because he didn't want to do that. He didn't want to kill General Zord, but he had to save this helpless family. You see the full character of him transition from when he's a boy, growing up, being picked on, with his father telling him, look man, you're the hope. People are going to look up to you. They are going to look up to you. It's up to you whether you want to go down the right path or the wrong path. That is entirely your decision, and the way his father sacrificed himself puts him on this beautiful, beautiful character development of a journey of him realizing what his father's sacrifice meant to him to keep his secret identity, to be able then to become Superman in order to be this godlike being that watches over everyone and protects everyone, and to go through and then getting to that point where the high-powered beings come, fighting them off, and yes, there's going to be destruction. People are going to die, unfortunately. That's what happens when you have such high-powered beings. There's nothing he can do. This isn't Dragon Ball where he would just go up and go, yeah, Zord, how about we just go over to the desert over here and we fight? General Zord's going to go, get the fuck out of here, mate. I'm going to fight you right here. I don't care. This isn't Dragon Ball Z where Goku just rocks up and goes, yo, bro, Cell, me and you, we fight in the desert over here. And Cell's just like, yeah, man, alright, let's go do it. That doesn't happen in the real world, and Superman, that's not going to happen. Superman's just going to have to fight because General Zord wants to fight right then and there. He has to fight him. So, that's going to happen, and then when he kills him, the pain that you hear out of his voice in that screech. To me, this is one of the best comic book films. This is so good. The whole character of Superman is summed up perfectly in this film. You know, he's still trying to learn to fit in. And what I really like what Snyder did with this character is he made this character more human than the human characters. And that's what Superman is. Superman is supposed to be the best of us. The best. Even though he's not human, he's supposed to be the best person. And I felt like in Man of Steel, we got that version of Superman. We got him to be even better. And he even sums it up where they're talking at the end of the movie and he goes, I'm from Kansas. Like, I'm a Kansas person. I'm more American than most people. I'm a kid from Kansas. And that's what his father brought him up to be. He brought him up to be a human. A human first, superpower afterwards. And this is what Zack Snyder did, but unfortunately then he dropped the ball on Batman vs Superman. And yeah, we won't even talk about that film. But there you go, that's my take on Man of Steel. I absolutely adore the film. I think it's great. I think it's fantastic. I love the character of the Superman. I love the way that his character is developed. I love the story. I love how his relationship with his dad, how his dad protected him. I just love everything about this film. Let me know in the comments, what are your thoughts on Man of Steel? Because it is a divisive film. Some people hate it, some people love it. I'm very interested to see if you agree with me or you disagree. It's fine if you disagree. I have no problems with that because we're all going to see it differently. But that's my take on it. Give us a like, give us a subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.